What's good? What's good? What is good, my brothers and sisters? Man, I feel like singing that Ice Cube West Up song from back in the day. Front, back, side to side, we be dipping it up to the day we die. I'm telling you, I'm such in a good mood today, man. I feel great, man. Lamelo Ball putting in work. Lonzo Ball is man, he seems motivated. The swagger is I've never seen Lonzo with this type of swagger. Did you see his press conference? I mean, shoot, he's at another level right now. And the best thing that happened to Lonzo, not just the offseason that he finally had, not just the coach who finally believes in him, but I really feel like motivation plays a key to his development. And having uh, LaMelo Ball play when he's playing like in the same year, it does something to you. He plays with a certain aggression that is just at another level. And I love what I saw last night. I loved it. And he's putting people on notice. Lonzo Ball's game has improved so much that when he steps into a game, you realize he's not nervous or he's like ready. He doesn't care who he plays against. And this is the Lonzo Ball that I was waiting on. So all it took was having Lonzo signing with Clutch Sports and having a tough-minded coach like Stan Van Gundy to enhance his play. Oh, before I start, the notifications I send out are not working for some reason. I think Instagram is cutting that off. So what you can do is next to where it says subscribe on a channel, there's a bell. You click on the bell and you push for all notifications. So you can get notifications the whole time. All right. Nathaniel Oliver says, peace, 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 my brother. Rudy Breeze says, salute, bro. Salute to you. Nathaniel says, Lonzo went off last night. He sure did, man. He sure did. Lonzo did work. Yep. Orlando Magic Nation says, hey, my Magic sucks. Nah, they don't suck. They're just not elite. They're a normal good team. That's all they are. Nathaniel Oliver says Lonzo came with the heat. He sure did, man. Ruff says Lonzo was hooping. Man, he was in his bag last night. Boy, the haters are solid, man. You realize when Lonzo has a good game, that shines and the haters are just scurried around. They forget that Lonzo played last night. I wonder why. Can't even find the haters today. I'm out here searching for the haters. I can't find the haters. Have y'all seen the haters? Have y'all seen the Lonzo Ball haters today? Because I can't find them. I've been searching for so long. KJB says born to ball. Yes, he is. That's what his last name means. He's a baller, man. Baller is a baller. Did Bledsoe play the two with Lonzo? Yeah, Bledsoe is a better fit because Bledsoe, he understands his role. And the bad thing about Drew last season, Drew thought he was the man. And we know Drew's a good guy. He does a lot of charity work. We get that. But I'm talking about on the court. Drew wanted to be the guy so bad. but he didn't realize that he's not that guy. He's a great player, but he's just not the number one guy. I remember some Pelican bloggers were mad because I said that the go-to scorers on the team is BI and Zion. They lost their minds. But that was the truth. They wanted Drew to be so much of a superstar that it just wasn't realistic. And you know what's funny about the Pelican bloggers? They make fun of Lonzo all the time, talk shit behind his back, but when they interview him, they don't say the same stuff. They don't back up their claims. They try to tell him he's not a point guard, he's a wing. And you saw last night, Lonzo Ball was the best player on the court. That's a fact. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. For last night, though, only for last night. But it tells you something. Lonzo Ball has improved. Shout out to Court Clutch Sports for getting Lonzo right, man. Nathaniel Oliver says Lonzo mid-range was on fire. Yes, it was. Teams better play better defense than that. You cannot allow Lonzo open looks anymore. He's making his shots. That same old defense that you did with the Lakers when he played with Luke Walton and company, you can't do that with this years old. Not with this type of playing style he's playing with. But there are teams that play the same defense they've been playing on Zoe, they're going to get cooked all game. Rudy, yes, Lonzo played more. KGB says that extension money would bother a brother. Yes, it would. Nathaniel Oliver says somebody hating already. Who's hating on Lonzo right now? We got Mr. Jones in the building. Mr. Jones. Shout out to the rule, man. Thank you for supporting all my work. And like I said, anyone who's listening, to get the notifications, next to the subscription box, you got to push the bell, the notification bell, and it will say personalize all. You click that, you get all my notifications for all my videos. Jay Strokes, shout out to Jay Strokes. Subscribe to his channel, man. He's a real one. He says, "Sup, my ninjas. What's up, my brother?" You know what, Jay Strokes? I want you in the building, man. Are you available to jump on live? All right, I'm gonna send the link. Now I want Jay Strokes in the building if you can, or Mr. Jones. I just sent the link. Rudy says, "Hey, I like this, but I hope Bledsoe will remain. It will not ruin the chemistry with this team." Bledsoe's a good guy. You don't have to worry about him. One thing about Eric Bledsoe, he doesn't play out of his game. When he sees you trying to, you know, assist and give the ball back and play the right way, Bledsoe feels comfortable and he doesn't have to do too much. Mike Laurie says Zoe can be in the hunt for most improved. Yeah, it can happen. Nathaniel says Lonzo plays so great you can barely find videos on Lonzo. Oh yeah, the haters are the haters are quieter than a mouse pissing on cotton right now. Mike Larry says Zoe and Lamelo will be all-star together in the future. Can't wait. I hope so. You know, I don't like predicting stuff like that, but I hope so. But it looks like their potential, if they reach it, could be, and that would be amazing sight. The views would be. Can you imagine if that happened? The views would be like out of this world. Oral Phillips says, "What up? What up, my guy?" Diara Hussein, my brother. All praise to the Most High, man. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for being a real one, man. The hip hop analyst is in the building. He said they was quiet as fuck last night. Yes, they were. Yes, they were, man. They were ultra quiet. And I tell you what, um, it was funny. All of it was funny. I don't know what they doing with that. I was literally trying to find anyone who would talk back about Lonzo in that game. I could not find it at all. Nobody would talk mess about Lonzo for some reason. Like I was looking, I was like, man, who is going to talk mess about Lonzo today? We got Jay Strokes in the building, man. They should have never let you on today because I know you about to go off. I know you.
Nah, I'm actually kind of chill today. I got my son, so he's been
Yeah,
wearing me out. I'm kind of tired, but what's going on?
man. We talking about Lonzo Ball, man, putting on a show. Uh, a lot of haters are just they're really mad that Lonzo Ball had a great game.
Yeah, but like I made in my video this morning, I told people I was like, hey, I already knew what was coming. Like I tried telling people what he needed to work on and why it was going to be useful, and people watched the game, and all the comments I was seeing online is like, yo, some work in that media, and I'm like, well, I've been telling y'all for a while why he needed it. You know, this is just preseason, but that'll carry over into the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right on, man. You know, they don't pay attention. They don't look at him working out with Clutch or getting his game right. They didn't see all that. So they just looking at just rhetoric and not looking at the facts. And I told these people, I said, when Lonzo gets his training and uh, you know, proper nutrition and working on his overall game, like this is how delusional the Lonzo Ball hater is. They're talking about, oh man, Lonzo Ball is shooting well now. I'm like, he's been shooting well. He just hasn't been going to the basket. I don't know what the heck y'all talking about.
yeah, and I remember when he was first dropping the little videos, people were like, why isn't he working on attacking the rim? You know, why is he shooting threes? And I remember distinctly telling people, like, he needs all of that. Like, you know, the spacing and what the team is going to require because of Zion and BI, they're going to need a third scorer on that team. Someone that can attack, that can play alongside BI, someone that can play alongside Zion, and they can operate in different parts of the floor. So if he's got Zion, he can obviously sit and camp at the 3 point line. We saw a lot of that in the pick and roll where Zion would come off the pick, he would draw the double team, he would hit at the zone, zone knocks down the three, right? Then you got BI on the other side of the court, and he likes to play in the mid range or he likes to attack the basket. You know, Lonzo can be on the other side if need be. He can bail him out if he gets into trouble, or he can facilitate to give BI better shots. So Lonzo is that third piece. The problem is we got certain pundits who, despite all the rhetoric they've been pushing, cannot get this to be a BI and Zion thing alone. Even Stan is forcefully pushing Lonzo into that narrative. He is making sure that it's BI, Zion, and Zoe, despite the fact that we got the media pundits that want to just solely make him a wing or want to denigrate him at every turn. So when you got the coach that's backing you up and saying, look, it's Zoe, BI, and Zion, all the other stuff from those media pundits don't even matter at this point because Stan is making sure it's known. Include my guy with my other two guys.
Man, you preaching to the gospel this morning. This brother, you on fire. Shanika Ryan, she says, "Hey DJ in chat, Jay Strokes in your voice. I told you so." Great videos. The video you did, man, that was a classic, my brother.
And I was gonna do it last night, but I was like, no, I'm gonna wait till first thing in the morning when I got a little bit more energy. But you know, it I normally don't like to go like that, but I was like, yeah, I got to on this one. I got to make sure they know what it
Yeah.
is. So we'll see. Like I said, like I said in my video, I don't want to get too far ahead. I'm still giving him 15 to 20 games to build up, but honestly, he looks good. He looks real good out there right now.
Yes, he does, man. Yes, he does. It's impressive, man. He looks motivated. You can see the confidence in the press conferences. Um, he knows what he's doing. It started with, I feel like I could average a triple double every night, and then last night he told the media that it's just the beginning, and he had a serious face in his look. You saw it, and that's when I knew. I said, man, Lonzo is not playing around this year. He heard all the shit talking. Uh, he heard from buffoons talking about his career is overreacting, but he averaged 14 and 10 before the bubble. It was sad, man.
Yeah, and they even brought up the bubble because it's like, what's the difference between, the bubble and now? And it's like, hey, I ain't had an off season, and I'm glad he put that out there because for whatever reason, I guess people are trying to discredit him not having an off season, but he clearly needed the off season. And like I've told people, he still had his UCLA skill set. And I don't think people understand when you come into the league, one playing point guard takes 4 to 5 years to like get the hang of. He's on year 4 right now. That's number one. Number two, when you're in college and you go to the league coming out of as a freshman, you don't develop the technical aspects of the game. And so that's why players look vastly different once they've had a couple more years. Like, okay, Kuzma came out, he was 22 years old. He was like 2 or 3 years older than BI. But everybody on the Lakers was swearing, yo, Kuzma is what BI was supposed to be. Now, BI at age 22, if you go look back at what Kuzma did, BI is clearly the superior player at the same age. But that age difference matters. That training, that experience matters. And I don't think people value that part of it enough. Young players need time to grow.
You know what's funny? Kyle Kuzma is 25 going on 26. And these media pundits and BI haters swore that Kyle Kuzma was the better player. And I told people that he was maxed out. That little rookie year he had, that's the best you're gonna see. Look at it now. Last night, Kyle Kuzma, when he doesn't get his shots or his touches, he hey brother, Rave Kingdom, you're echoing.
Oh, my apologies.
Sorry about that, brother. But Kyle Kuzma was moping around. When he doesn't get his touches, he's useless pretty much. Not to be mean, but that's just what it is. And then BI is a 4-level scorer. So you see why he's better than what Kyle Kuzma is.
And Kuzma's game was based on rhythm and touches. And unfortunately on the Lakers, LeBron isn't going to treat him like AD. Lonzo, his mentality is, I'm going to take whatever you got and we gonna promote that on the court. So his shooting and his positional awareness, he was using those things to take full advantage of what Kuzma had, which is why Kuzma hadn't done anything since Lonzo left. And I don't think Kuzma understands how good he had it next to Zoe, because since then they've had Rondo. Rondo's a very good point guard. Obviously, they got LeBron. They are not feeding him unless he shows up on his own. Once he hits a couple shots, okay, they'll start to look for him. But other than that, he's just another guy.
Yeah, exactly, man. exactly. It, I saw the body language. He all moping around and stuff. Uh, and I don't want to make this like pro Zoe, but I've said this long enough. When Lonzo left the Lakers, Kyle Kuzma was not the same, man. Because Lonzo was the only one willing to give him the touches, even when Kyle Kuzma was two-faced towards him. Lonzo was unselfish enough to still give Kyle Kuzma looks. And, sometimes you don't know what you got until you lose it, and that's what Kyle Kuzma lost.
Yeah, and it's gonna cost them money. It's gonna cost them a lot of money. Now, maybe some team will be willing to give him a chance, um, but as it stands, if I'm Kuzma, I gotta be looking and thinking like, damn, Bi and Zoe and Josh are all in New Orleans, and they all like Bi just got paid, and Lonzo's looking good, and he's got the coach's support, and if he breaks out this year, he's gonna get paid. And then Josh Hart's going to get paid because he's ascending and he's getting better. And Josh Hart is 25. He'll be 26, I think, next year. But even still, it's the same thing applies. They're getting to grow and develop and be appreciated for what they have. Meanwhile, Kuzma is stuck in the background between AD and LeBron, and he's not getting those opportunities he feels he deserves.
hmm I got a question from Rudy Breeze. He says, "What is the best lineup for the Pelicans?"
That depends on who they're playing, but if you want to maximize probably Zion and Bi, you're gonna have to you're gonna run the starting lineup, but the only changes I would either probably put Now or Josh Hart in at the two because I think they space the floor. And in Nal's case, I think Nal is another scorer you could take advantage of. And again, both of them are going to space the floor, which is great for Zion and Bi. But then you get like it depends on what you need. Josh Hart can switch better and defend better. So if you want more defense, you go that route. But if you go with Nal, you can play a little bit more off ball with Lonzo if you need to, or you can have Lonzo push the ball up the court, and Nal can be a pretty decent decision maker in transition to get the best out of everybody else. But I think to get the best out of Zion overall, you're gonna have to put another shooter out there. And I like the size that both of them provide. That's why I wouldn't put JJ there. And that's my take. And I would let Bledsoe come off the bench and lead the second unit with JJ because they're vets and they got experience and they know how to take over and control the game.
I like that. Even though Bledsoe has been a good fit for Lonzo, I admit a better fit than Drew. But I like your suggestion. Court Vision says, "Is Melo starting today?" I'll answer this one. No, I don't think he's starting today, but he will get his minutes. And when Lamelo plays, the ball movement is better. When he doesn't play, look at the metrics. Um, there's more turnovers. There's less ball movement when Lamelo is not on that court. He's the only true point guard on that roster. Um, the the Hornets got a problem. They got two, like I've been saying it, they got two miniature shooting guards starting, and it's going to be a problem when they play against stronger and bigger guards. So, one of them, one of those players, those two starters, got to soak up their pride and be a six man. That's what I think. What you think, Jay Strokes?
Uh, I'm not even gonna lie. I haven't watched much of Charlotte yet, so I
hmm
don't necessarily feel qualified to talk about them. I'll say this: to me, they're gonna have to put Lamelo in the starting lineup at some point, and obviously the question is who you're gonna take out. My thing is who is going to be the best for the second unit, and who can Lamelo maximize best alongside Gordon Hayward. That's my question, and I think they might keep Terry Rozier starting because his attitude would probably go left if he had to come off the bench. Because that was
Yep.
one of his issues in Boston was he thought that he was starter level and he should be playing, you know, uh, with Kyrie or beside Kyrie and with Smart and so I think they'll probably opt to keep him in for now, but we'll see. They might they might look to build him up and then trade him away. So
Yeah.
as long as he's in there and he can play next to Melo, Melo feed him. He dropped 15, 16 a game, 18 a game. Okay, look, is there a market for Terry Rozier? Look, he can play off the ball. He can get you 15, 16 a game.
Is there what?
Anybody want
I don't really know. People said the Clippers, but who's gonna take that contract?
him? I'm trying to think of some teams that the teams that would need him are teams that have like forwards already, forwards and centers, and they just need like another guard. Um, you could maybe say Phoenix could take him off the bench if he would agree to come off the bench until CP3's contract expired. Uh, but I'm trying to think of other teams that he could fit on. Maybe Philly. Uh, I really don't know where he fits because his skill set. There's so many players that does what he does. It's not like he offers anything you can't get cheaper on the market, and I think that's the problem with him. With a player like Lamelo or Lonzo, you get like a 6'8", 6'6" point guard that can pass, rebound, defend, and in those cases can shoot. But for Terry Rozier, a small guard who can just shoot and really doesn't offer any other value, I don't know why. Like to me, there's other players like that. Lou Williams, for instance, they already have that for the Clippers, so they don't need him. You know, maybe New York would take that contract. I don't know, but I really just don't see it because hell, even the other team I can think of, Orlando, I think they got Markelle starting now. And so Markelle basically does the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Pride is it's the one thing that holds back progression. Because I saw Lamelo play last night, the other night, and he played 25 minutes and had 18 points, couple assists, a lot of rebounds, effective, high plus minus, the whole shebang. And just imagine if he was playing starters minutes. And I know it's preseason, but you can't tell me he wouldn't put up numbers if he averaged starters minutes. It's hard to watch the Hornets due to the fact that they don't start LaMelo. So I have to wait until he starts, and then I'll flip it back on. And I hate doing that with the Pelicans since Lonzo is a starter and Stan Van Gundy has given the keys to Lonzo, his point guard. It's easier to watch their whole games.
I mean, even without Lonzo though, the Pelicans are watchable just because of Zion and Bi.
Yeah,
Even
that too.
like even if we took away Lonzo and you just said, okay, we're gonna have Bledsoe start at point guard or Now or Kira, you could still go watch the Pels because they're more marketable. Outside of Charlotte, nobody gives a damn about Charlotte with the only reason being Lamelo. If Lamelo was there, nobody would be talking about Charlotte right now. So to use your coin phrase, he's the stimulus package. So
Yeah.
nobody cares about Charlotte except for Lamelo. And I'd be willing to bet if they monitored the viewership, there would be a spike whenever he touches the floor. I'd be willing to bet money.
Oh, you're right, man. You're definitely right. Let me read this by KJB. He says, Kira, Kira, Kira. Anybody seen Emmanuel Quickly, Malachi Flynn, those guys will be getting minutes on the Pelicans. I think a lot of people are underestimating the Pelicans roster. They're a lot deeper than what people think. Um, it's so tough to get playing time that to kill Alexander Walker is not getting that much of playing time. He's only getting normal playing time. Um, Here's the thing. Stan Van Gundy made it clear that his starters will be playing in the 30-minute range. So I don't think those players you listed would have taken minutes away from Lonzo. I just don't think that, or BI and others. What you think? He left. I just don't think that would have happened. But they're solid players, and it tells you that the 2020 draft class is better than what people thought. I told you guys that the whole time. But I really feel that they were trying to downplay the 2020 draft class. Whenever, ever since Lamelo was ranked in the top 5, he was his class was getting shitted on. Oh, you're back, Jay Stro?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. So, but yeah, I'm here.
All right, good. Did you hear what I said that I stated?
I caught part of it. You're basically saying that their draft class has been slept on, or been, basically said they weren't that good, and they're out there showing otherwise, right?
Yeah, but before KGB was like, he was like, Kier. Anybody seen Emmanuel Quickly and Malachi Flynn? Those guys would be getting minutes on the Pelicans. He's pretty much saying that they would have got more minutes than Kiera Lewis got. And I don't think that's the case. Stan Van Gundy made it clear that his starters will be getting minutes in only the top 8, which is Josh Hart, JJ Redick, and what's that big man name again? Hayes. Jackson Hayes. The reliable 8. So if Nah is barely getting minutes, and he's going to get more minutes, I think he's going to get more minutes. And then that's the only reason why Kira's not getting those type of minutes. There's nothing against him. He's as talented as those guys you listed, KJB.
I don't think there's not a guard in the draft that would have gotten minutes on this Pels team, to be honest. We got so many guards. Like, to have gotten playtime on this team, you would have had to have been a center or a forward. And in particular, you would have had to have been an elite stretch 5 or a multifaceted wing player to get minutes, because for instance, B.I. had a bad game. He fouled out. Josh Hart had like 5 fouls. Like, they couldn't guard anything without causing a foul. So what they would have liked to have had was, one of those 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" wing players with wingspan that you could go put on like someone like a Chris Middleton. Like, they would have got some minutes, and because that's a spot of need. But another point guard, no. Lonzo got point guard wrapped up. Like, if there was a discussion about it before, he ended that last night for sure. He will start as the point guard for the New Orleans Pelicans going forward. Now, maybe a 2 guard, maybe you could figure that part out, but I mean, I think they're sold with Bledsoe. I think they want his toughness, and I think they trust his experience and his ability to play next to those other guys off ball. But yeah, there's no guard in this draft, I think, that would have been able to get minutes last night playing on this team, because Bledsoe and Lonzo were just too good to not have in the game.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's just what it is. I don't think if it was like a Sadiq, if they would have drafted a Sadiq Bey, he would have got minutes because he's 6'8", he's long, and he could guard the 3. But another guard taking minutes from Lonzo and others, I just don't see it. I don't care who it is. We got Ray's Kingdom in the building. What's good, my brother?
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Thank you for being a part of the show. What's your take on this discussion?
Actually, I don't really have too much on discussion on the exact subject that y'all was just talking about. But I do wanted to start off by saying shout out to everyone who's watching. Shout out to you, DJ Raw and Truth, for giving us the full truth and facts. and also had no choice but to join the show because my man Jay Strokes was in the building. You know what I'm saying? That man gives us the real, the truth, everything. So people gotta like really notice that. You know what I'm saying?
Right on. And brother, let me answer this, man, because Jay Brownlee, you're always welcome on my channel, but I have to disagree. Kuzma is not a better defender than Lonzo. That that doesn't even make sense.
Oh yeah,
It
he's a
doesn't
truth
make
show.
basketball sense at all.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. But now I have a question though, but I also have something to say. I actually started watching you, DJ Ross on Truth, when I found you comment under J Strokes videos. And I actually do my very best to comment under J Strokes. I don't know if J Strokes, you remember me, Rave Kingdom. I comment like a lot. I do my best to like, you know what I'm saying, to show my support because I was subbed to J Strokes when he was like 20 something subscribers. And DJ Raw Truth, I was watching you since like 300 some subscribers, but I didn't say nothing because it was so many people that was for Lonzo Ball. And I was on Ticket TV and the Shines trying to fight our battles. You know what I'm saying? I was in the comment section like, y'all saying all these things are so wrong about Lonzo. Like, you know what I'm saying? At least give the man a shot, a chance. And they just kept going at him. You know what I'm saying? So I kept trying to like fight the battles, like, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it just, I don't know, got on my nerves.
I remember you commenting on my stuff. Yeah, you one of my regulars. So, shout outs to you. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the comments and the compliments. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I do this for you guys.
Right.
DJ has his views on things. I have mine. Some of the other guys out there, they have their views. Regardless, we're going to give or do our best to give an opinion that's righteous and not full of hate. This will critique as need be, but we'll also tell the truth, and I think you guys can appreciate that, especially because you're not going to get a lot of this from the main media because they have their darlings, their guys that they like to promote and push. And obviously, a lot of you guys, if you're here, you're probably fans of the Ball family or Lonzo or some dimension of that. So for us, we kind of got this lane and this avenue to talk about Lonzo and give more Lonzo content for the people that actually are here for him and care about him. So I just want to say thank you and anybody else who's here or found me through DJ or some other avenue or just DJ in general, because I think DJ would agree with me too. Thank you guys for, subscribing and showing love. We do appreciate what you guys do for us. And the stuff, your comments and stuff, we read them and love them and appreciate you guys. So shout outs to you all too.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Like, you like your hard work and effort. You too, DJ. Like, both of you, trying your best. I'm sure y'all got other things to worry about, and y'all do y'all best to give us a good video. You know what I'm saying? Speak on the subject or whatever you do. So I definitely appreciate you both.
What was that? Somebody doing a holy prayer or something?
Oh, that's my cousin in the background.
Oh, I thought someone was doing like a
that man started singing.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, what the heck?
But I wanted to talk about because Ticket in the Shines has not said not one peep of word. I don't know if anyone peeped that. The Shines, the haters, they can't even say nothing about Lonzo's performance the other day.
Man, they're not. I knew this was gonna happen. And shout out to IBD Press. Subscribe to his channel. Peace to you, my brother.
Yeah, that was crazy. The Shines has not said not one word. And it's like every time Lonzo does bad, they be saying some question like they be saying some stuff like what would they say about Lonzo? They'll say like something like, oh, he should be a 2 guard. Or they'll just say something so slick. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll say something slick about him. But now that he did good, they can't say not one word. And I'm still waiting for them to say something. None of them said anything.
Oh, definitely, man. I just it's funny to me because it's so predictable. When this is Lamelo, but you get my drift when it comes to Ball family criticism. LaMelo had 0 points in his first preseason game without a training camp or summer league. And the whole social media just overreacted, saying, oh, he's not worth the third overall pick and yada, yada, yada. Uh, when LaMelo had his stellar game against the Magic, it was quiet as a church mouse. Um, this is who they are. See, no matter me, brothers like me and Jay Strokes, no matter if it's a horrible game or a great game, we're going to be objective and we're going to keep it real, good or bad. So we're going to
Right.
keep the same energy no matter what. That's the problem with today's content creating. They only know one way because they're trying to stick to a brand. See, for here, if when LaMelo plays like shit, I'm going to say it, but I'm also going to give a conclusion, just like Lonzo in the bubble. I talked so much, like I was just so pissed at Lonzo at the bubble. I had a lot of people hating on me, but they also failed to listen to the conclusion I had for Lonzo. I said if he has this offseason and if he could just work on his pick and roll, free throws, and in between game, he should break out. I said this, but they ignored that part because they heard the part where I said that was just an embarrassing performance.
Right. That's crazy. And there's another thing though. I have another question about since we talk about the Pelicans. Um, I've always seen this, and I've always asked this question ever since like they drafted Zion Williamson. I said, why does Zion have to like? It just looks like he has to force him way to score. He has to force himself to like, or he'd have to like just go into motions. Like, why can't y'all run something for the man that literally has the strength of Giannis, the finishing of LeBron, and the flexibility of Kyrie Irving, and you mix it up? You got a Zion Williamson. Why won't you use that into the game plan, into the plays? Like, it's almost like they don't even like plan something for Zion to like create a score. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense, like why would you not want to like bring him into the offense? Instead, you just let him catch it off a rebound or something. Like he has to force it.
Yeah, exactly, man. I can tell you watch you watch the brothers play. Jay Strokes, man. I want you to fill in on this, man. Give your opinion about the Ball family, the media, and what's true and what's false.
Um, Ray, before I get into that, are you saying they don't run plays for Zion?
I mean, so far what I've seen, they look like they're trying to do something. But I'm saying like in the past and what we've seen so far, mostly from Zion, it was more of him like he has to be either like it has to like he has to force the score or he has to get off a rebound or like a dead play or something instead of like creating like a whole movement and plays for Zion to score or to Zion to set something up. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Okay, they actually are running plays through and for Zion. Um, they're running a couple things actually. I've seen them use horns here and there. They're using some actions out of the triangle offense to get him going. Mainly they're using Zion because they use the way they're trying to use him is they're trying to use him to catch the ball in the post, and they know his strength is as soon as he catches the ball, he's going to turn around, face up, and he's going to make the play, go and attack the basket. Now, because of his athletic gifts and advantages, he's going to beat his guy 9 times out of 10. Zion himself is not trying to sit up and take, mid-range post shots. He's not trying to spot up for three.
Yeah.
The main thing is, and like I've seen him run floppy, I've seen him run horns, I've seen him run a pistol. They're running stuff to get him involved. But the thing is, they have to keep Zion moving. If they just sit him in the post all day, they're gonna feed on him. So you're gonna see a lot of times he's gonna come and catch the ball. They're gonna get a dump off pass depending on the matchup, or he's gonna hit that curl with Steven Adams and he's just gonna attack, or he might run UCLA cut and he'll attack the basket that way. He's getting stuff ran for him. It's not flashy. But then again, Zion, he's only really flashy when he's getting these transition dunks and He's yelling, screaming, but the main thing is he's gonna get his buckets on the interior that way until his game develops, which is fine. He doesn't need to have a bunch of different sets ran in that vein. As long as he's effective for what his skill set is right now, he's fine. Now, in the coming years, what we have to do is we have to assess him based on his growth and development. Are they going to keep him only there? Or are they going to try to work to expand him to shoot further? Because as he gets older, his athleticism ways, he has to win differently. So that's what we should be looking for. How's his three ball this year? How many threes does he take? Okay, is he working back? Is just extending his range beyond the perimeter? Because there are going to be teams like Dallas. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan at my core, who have size, and he's not going to get those interior buckets. So they're going to run plays for him, but they're not going to be flashy things, and they're not going to be like these extravagant plays you may see with Steph off the ball or something in Golden State. He's not that kind of player, and he doesn't have the skill set yet for that. But he's been in the pick and roll. He's ran a pick and roll. He's done a couple different things out there. If need be, I'll break down more of what they run, and I can maybe make a video and talk about it, discuss that. But they're running stuff for him. It's just not flashy. I know it looks kind of boring because you'll see, okay, Lonzo passed the ball to Bledsoe. Bledsoe passes it back, dumps it down low to Zion. Zion turns around and drives to the basket. But some of that is scripted.
Yeah. And I only say that because if you know anything about Zion, in high school, it was, I know it's high school, but he was learned to like move around with the ball, point guard, shoot, pull up mid ranges. I mean, he was doing it in high school. So I'm saying, I know maybe because I don't know, because he gained weight, so he had to make him do something. And I mean, muscle weight, you know what I'm saying, not fat, but maybe because they had to do something different with him. But like he has been taught to do stuff other than just be in the paint or something, you know what I'm saying? Just dish it down a boring layup, you know what I'm saying? He's been taught to do more than the average thing.
Competition level and the court is different in high school and college as it is in the NBA. So, like the college 3-point line is really like the it's in front of the perimeter. Lonzo would take in college, he would take long threes, and they thought he had NBA range. But, the athleticism, the speed of the game, there's certain things you can't get away with to do in high school and college that you could do in the NBA. Like Zion was a point guard in high school, but his handles, while they're good, they're not good enough for him to like point guard the entire game. Some of that stuff you got to build up. Like Lonzo had handles, but his handles weren't good enough for him to shoot off the dribble. But we can see some of that progression now in year 4. So he'll get more of that, but he got to get his game. His game has to grow. And even like Stan said and Lonzo said, they give them a little bit of freedom on the court to do what they want to do. So if Zion wants to take a couple mid-ranges, he has to want to take it himself. And he has enough cachet in the Pels and enough respect to say, hey, give me the ball. I'm going to take mid-range and we're going to run this play. And Lonzo is more than willing to be like, okay, cool, we can do that. So if Zion wants to do it, he can do it, and Stan is going to give them the leeway to do it. That's the one thing I give Stan. He's going to respect the players enough to trust their judgment, especially with Zoe pioneering in Zion, because he's talked about their IQ and their way they play the game. So if they want to try something, he'll more than likely let them go ahead and do it.
One thing I like about Stan Van Gundy, man, he just he doesn't play, man, at all. Instead of just playing everybody in their mama like last year, Gentry would play 14 players in a game. And I think he would worry about players if they're happy and if they're not in a bad mood. But Stan Van Gundy, he doesn't give a damn. He'll be like, man, I'm playing 8 players tonight, and that's it. I'm playing against the Lakers. Why would I play 13 players against the damn Lakers or Clippers? See, that's great coaching. and he trusts Lonzo. He loves this game. He says it every time. This is the first coach in a long time to have given Lonzo his props, his confidence. He says he believes in Lonzo every time. It's truly genuine. And that's all Lonzo needed. Luke Walton, his problem was he was trying to prove a point. He was trying to prove LeVar Ball wrong. And instead of trying to be that coach that Lonzo needed. Now, injuries did play a factor, and Lonzo didn't have an all season, but the confidence in his player was never there. It's a night and day difference. Plus, he's honest with Lonzo. He'll tell Lonzo in a minute, hey, Lonzo, our team is better when you attack the basket. You could take as much threes as you wanted, as long as you attack the basket and draw fouls. And you see Lonzo is doing that. His shooting is better. His mid-range is better. And I'm so happy to watch him play.
Yeah, and I'm glad he doesn't have. I'm just glad Lonzo don't got Gentry smack him on the butt, talking about something. We'll get him next time. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Nah, you need to get in his head. You need to talk to him. Look at him. Say, hey, Lonzo. All right, listen. I need you to go back out there, look aggressive. Go back out, do everything you do with confidence. You know what I'm saying? Because you can do it, and I don't want to see you crying nothing. I want him to be in his face and say, "You got this. Let's go. Let's work." You know what I'm saying? Learn your lead your team into this win. You know what I'm saying? Because they feed off Alonzo, and whether they want to say it or not, they feed off Alonzo. If Alonzo's running up that court, they gonna run up that court. If Alonzo's gonna make that team move, that whole team is gonna move, and that's why. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Luke or Gentry. Like this is a good coach for Lonzo Ball.
I got to answer this. Reginald said, I got to call you out, DJ LOL. When they first hired Stan, you said you weren't sure if he'd be a good coach. I had to be consistent, of course. Of course, I wouldn't be sure. He didn't do well in Detroit, and I was judging off his prior coaching stint. So I had to see it first. Now that I'm seeing it, and he's given Lonzo the keys, here's the thing. Lonzo Ball has played for so many bad coaches, below 500 coaches. It's too early to judge how a coach is because you just seen so many bad coaches with him. So it took time. Now that I see it, just like everyone else in this panel, then we could give Stan Van Gundy his props. But I'd be delusional if I would have just said early on, yes, Stan is the guy. He's the guy before even seeing it. What do you think, Jay Strokes?
When it comes to Stan, and I know Stan was catching hell because of his stint in Detroit, but my thing was always, let me see what he's done over his career. And we saw Miami, we saw Orlando when he took his team to the finals. And what kind of coach is he? Sometimes it's about fit. And I told guys, because I know I was one of the few people that said, hold on, let's not jump to conclusions about Stan, because Stan's probably what these guys need. And you come to that conclusion based on how the players are in their career and what's necessary. Gentry isn't a bad coach. Let's put that out. Gentry is not a bad coach. Gentry has his flaws like everybody else. But the problem is what the team needs, Gentry doesn't fit. Those guys were young. They hadn't been taught certain things for instance, Gentry has had these guys for an entire year, but he has not put it on them to speak and communicate on defense. Part of the problem last year with the Pels was they were not communicating on defense, and you would have a play where Josh Hart and Frank Jackson went on one guy and the other guy had a free trip to the basket. As a coach, you got to identify that stuff and promote the change. Stan came in day one. No, I've looked at you guys. I've studied you guys. You guys don't speak enough. We're putting that communication first. He's a teacher. These guys need to understand defensive positioning, defensive principles. So Stan The reason I didn't go in on Stan and say I hated the hire is because you got to look at the player needs and where they're at. Now Stan will probably be good in the beginning, but as they grow, they may look to move Stan because Stan's no longer needed. So does that mean Stan was a bad hire? No. You got to look at where the players are currently in their growth and development and what's the aim. Stan is great for them now. In 3 or 4 years, when they're all in their primes, he may not be the guy to lead them. They may need somebody else. And then, the coaches that you were looking for, like the Ty Lues or somebody, will come to that team, or, Frank Vogel or somebody, and they'll push them to the next level. Because if you go look at, let's say, Golden State was on a roll. They had Mark Jackson. He developed those guys. But the person that was needed to take them to the next level was Steve Kerr. And they brought in Steve Kerr. And now they haven't looked back since. So you gotta pick your hires based on the current need. So I held out just to see, because I felt I understood what they were trying to go for. And it just so happens that this is exactly what they needed. Gentry had 45-minute practices. Stan says, no, we need 3 hours. Gentry did his little bit of thing. Stan says, okay, we're working on defense the entire time. Coaches run things differently. Players respond to stuff differently. Stan just so happens right now to work. Now, wait till they lose a couple games because of their defense. And you're going to hear people come back and see, I told you he wasn't good. I told you he wasn't good. It's going to happen. But you have to look at and see how they develop and judge the coach based on that. Sometimes it's not just about wins or losses. It's about growth. They could grow this season and still miss the playoffs. But does that mean it was a bad season? Not necessarily.
You heard it from Jay Strokes, man. Subscribe to that brother's channel. It's easy. Just go in the search box. Jay Strokes, one of the most underrated YouTubers in the game. Just like me, Jay Strokes does YouTube as a hobby. We all got careers. We all got things going on. But we do what we do because we love the game of basketball. We love talking about this type of subject. And it's always a blessing to have informed people on the show. You guys make all this possible, and I appreciate all the support. Any last words before I go? I got some errands to do, but any last words?
I was gonna say one last thing. I guess if you're gonna call DJ out, you might as well call, I think, all of us out. You call me out because like I'm not saying like I was all amazed by Stan Van Gundy's hire, because I wasn't. When I saw the hire Stan Van Gundy, because I'm a person that kind of wanted like Jason Kidd, you know what I'm saying? Someone who can use the young development and use it to their abilities best as possible. But when we had Stan, I was like, okay, it wasn't something I got excited for, you know what I'm saying? But I knew I had to do my research. I knew I had an open eye, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't take away anything from whoever we hire, because it might help, it might not. I just told myself, okay, we gotta see what he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? How's he gonna set this up? Who he's gonna put on his coaching staff? How's this all gonna work? And when I saw Stan Van Gundy actually making sure everybody was accountable, and when I saw him actually coaching the team, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was so thankful for just that, because we needed a coach that's going to coach the team, not fucking stare. You know what I'm saying? My bad. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that right there knew, okay, now he might be the good enough coach that we expect. And when I saw it, then I was like, okay, well, Stan Van Gundy is going to be our coach, and I'll accept it.
Yeah, I don't really have too much more to say. I'm ready for the regular season. They got a tough slate coming up, so they're gonna get tested early. I'm just basically looking to see changes on the mentality and how they play and perform. If they do that, then it's working. It may not necessarily show up in the win and loss column immediately. So I'm going to look for the development of them on the defensive side. Again, like I've said, I'm giving Lonzo, 15, 20 games. Same thing with Zion beyond the rest of the team. I think that'll be a good enough time for them to get accustomed to the system. Because even Stan has said they haven't even put in all the stuff they're trying to do. This is just basic. He's giving them the basics, and they already look better with the basics. So I'm looking forward to what they will be, but I'm got to remember to be patient. Certain things look great right now. There's limited film on Lonzo taking mid ranges. What happens when they adjust? How does he look then? These are all little things that I'm encouraging you guys to be on the lookout for. Don't just look at the wins and losses because we know we got a team we like, we want them to win. But we got to look at the growth and development of the players and the team as a whole. And if they're growing and they're improving as a unit, everything else is going to come with time. So that's all I got to say. Shout outs to you guys. I hope y'all have a great day, and be safe out here and enjoy your holiday season.
Already, man. All praise to the Most High. Peace and blessings to everyone in this holiday season. Remember, cherish your loved ones, your family. Keep your conscience clear. Uh, live life like it's your last, and enjoy every day you wake up. Uh, Also, make sure you hit the subscribe bell. Now, I know that most of you are subscribed to my channel, but to get notifications, you got to hit the bell and put it all for all videos. Um, that's the only way you'll get a notification through all my videos. I don't know how in the hell I'm able to make a video every day, but I seem to make it work as long as it's in the morning Pacific time. So I'm sacrificing, private time to make YouTube videos and go on live stream. But I do it because I enjoy these type of conversations. So thank you guys.